what's up you guys, it's Ethan here talking about what powerlifting program I am currently using. For the past 6.5 months I have been on the Strength Athletes 9-week intermediate strength training program. I know that's a mouthful, but it's an awesome program recommended by my friend Tony, who you may have seen in previous videos. It's a great program. This is my first time using an actual true powerlifting program, not doing a ton of hypertrophy work, just doing curls and doing different, going heavy on bench press and thinking that's what's going to get me to that next level in powerlifting. And it isn't. So I'm very happy with this program, and I'm excited to share with you kind of the science behind it and share with you what my results have been in 6.5 months. I started out with a 315 squat, a 315 bench press, touch and go. I did not do a competition pause for that. Deadlift, 335. In the 6.5 months I've been training, I've increased my squat and bench by 25 pounds, and I've increased my deadlift by 20 pounds. The program works by using the squat and bench as the primary volume of your program. Your body responds really well to higher volume in squat and bench versus higher volume in deadlifts. In particular for me, my squat is one of my weakest lifts, so having that repetition in squats has really helped me grow, and it's also increased my deadlift too. Great thing about the program is it focuses a lot on back and lats, which is something I lacked in personally, which is so key with all three lifts, including, especially the deadlift, but in bench and squat as well. So the science behind the program is that as you start week 1, the volume increases each week. Not necessarily in the amount of reps, but the intensity kind of does. From week 1 to 2, your volume will increase. You'll do a 4x4 the first week, like on bench press, and then the next week you'll do a 5x5. So the volume kind of increases in the amount of repetitions you're doing. Each week those percentages will keep increasing until week 5. Where you're going to start to be in a taper, which is a new term that I didn't know previously until I started powerlifting. What it is when you hit week 5, instead of increasing volume and a small percentage, your relative volume is going to drop. So instead of doing a 5x5 on bench press, you may be doing 3 sets of 2 reps, or maybe a 3x3 on squats. But your percentage of your 1 RM is going to be higher. So your intensity raises, but the volume drops. So as that volume is dropping off, your intensity rises and you begin this taper, so that way you can actually attempt a new 1 rep max. I'm going to show you guys a side-by-side comparison of between week 5 and 6, where the relative volume drops from the previous week, but your percentages increase. So as you can see here in week 5, your squat, these are my current weights that I'm using. So for squats there on day 1, you have a 5x5 at 82% of your 1 rep max, which for me is a 267.5 pounds. And it's same for the bench press. And as you see through the week, your heavy bench day is day 4, but let's just compare day 1 to day 1 of week 6, between week 5 and 6. So week 6 we have squats at 86% of your 1 rep max, but the sets and reps change. Well, your sets are the same, but your reps drop down. So you're going from 25 reps to 15 reps, but your relative intensity increases from 82% of your 1 RM to 86%. Now that may not seem like a big deal, but it actually is. Once you begin that taper each week, you're going to be increasing into that 90% of your 1 rep max, which you're only going to be doing a single or maybe doubles for that. And what it is you're kind of tapering up and you're hitting your peak strength. And then right as you get up there, you take about a week off, and that week before you max, you'll hit a heavy single, but you're doing really low volume because you don't want your muscles to be tired or sore right before you attempt a new 1 rep max. Now at the end of the 9-week training cycle, you will either make new max attempts, or you can just go ahead and increase your weights without making those attempts and then repeat the cycle. I prefer to make those 1 rep max attempts, because how do you know you're going to handle a 335 squat going up to a 345? How are you going to know that just training that way you're going to hit that number? You don't. You either do or you don't. You got to attempt that. So that's what I prefer to do. In the program itself, it says, what goal should you shoot for each time you test your max every 9 weeks. They recommend 10-pound goal for your lower body and 5-pound goal for your upper body. So that's what you're shooting for every 9 weeks to increase your maxes on that. And of course, that's not a linear progression. You could have injuries, you could be sick, a lot of variables, and especially like with me, I'm on that higher end of the bench press. I've done 340. I know I can pause 325 currently. I know that I can't gain 100 pounds on my bench press versus my squat and deadlift, which are weak, and that is a known fact that I'm improving them. My current squat's 340. I know I can squat 450, 475 one day. I have a lot of room to grow. So that linear progression may be more steep versus my bench press, which is almost becoming more lateral. One thing you guys may not be used to with this program is RPE, which is rate of perceived exertion. This program uses it a lot with your back workouts, so doing seated rows and lat pull downs, different things like that. You're using rate of perceived exertion, and you can look on the program page and it'll tell you exactly what a 10 RPE is versus a 5 RPE. It breaks it down per each one. Basically a 10 RPE is you do a 1 rep max and you can't do a second one. 9.5, you can maybe do one more. 9, you could definitely do one more. And I may be saying those wrong based on that, but everyone has their own perception of what an RPE is. For example, if I go in to do close grip bench press and I'm supposed to do 3 sets of 3 at 9 RPE, I know I got to put a lot of weight on that. And sometimes it's hard to judge. So if you fail on a second rep of a 3x3 with a 9 RPE, that's okay as long as you have your lifting part in there, obviously. But there's going to be room for error, but you got to really push yourself, and then when it says 8 RPE, make sure you dial it back. There's a reason why the program's set up that way. I think this program really works because as an intermediate lifter myself, I've been lifting since 2009, doing more of the bro stuff, just doing mainly upper body, not focusing on my legs. And I had a knee injury in high school that I neglected. I didn't try to strengthen, and that's why my lower body is so weak. What's so great about this program is that I'm able to build my foundation strong. So the way it works is that you really get time under bar. I feel like a lot of lifters in the intermediate range neglect the fact that maybe they're not strong enough for these lifts. You don't need to jump on a specialized training program sometimes. You may just need to spend more time squatting, bench pressing, deadlifting. My squat is one of my weakest lifts, and the only thing that's improved it is squatting. It doesn't matter how much I could leg press, leg curl, or do anything with. I had to squat more. And the program allows that, and I just get more reps at a lesser percentage by 1 rep max to really engrave that form, the setup, how I drop into the hole and explode out of it, keeping my knees out, bending the bar around my back. All these cues are engraved in me now after 6.5 months, and I'm really able to push myself. Overall, I think this is an amazing program. I've made a few tweaks myself for my own personal needs. I'm working more on the shoulders. It only works shoulders once a week. I've added in a second shoulder day that's very light. And I recommend this for people that are intermediate lifters that are wanting to get stronger, whether it's getting ready for a powerlifting competition, wanting to get stronger at the big 3 lifts. And I think it's a great program for overall fitness as well. I look as good as I did when I used to do bodybuilding, volume, hypertrophy training styles. And I think I look better, and I really enjoy it, and it's nice to have that set program, like I'm going to do this today. If anybody wants to check out the program I'm on, the link is in the description, so please check it out. It is free. It's an Excel file. Download it, just plug your maxes in, and don't exaggerate your maxes. Be true to yourself. What maxes you put in there, because if they are too exaggerated and you try to do this training program, it will kill you. It is hard. Don't let the first 3 weeks fool you. They ramp you up. So do not exaggerate your maxes. Make sure it is a true max for you currently. I don't care what you did 2 years ago. I care about what you can do right this second. Download the program if you're interested. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know so I can make more videos like this. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.